Hello, everyone, and welcome to MSUFCU's Financial Education Seminar Series. We appreciate you all joining us and are excited to be here with you virtually this evening. These presentations were created with you in mind, with the intention to give financial education on a number of relatable topics to help expand your knowledge of finances. Each event will be hosted by a member of our Financial Education Department or by one of our partners, connecting you with resources in our community. We have a number of diverse presentations planned for you this year, and you can explore and register for them by visiting us at msufcu.org/events. Tonight's event is being recorded. To rewatch or share the presentation, go to youtube.com/MSUFCU, then select the MSUFCU seminar series from the playlist options. Recordings are generally available within a few weeks of the event. We will be pausing throughout tonight's presentation to address questions submitted to the Q&A. You may send your inquiries at any time during the event, which will then be answered in the order that they were received. We'll also provide additional information and resources in the chat, but please reserve the Q&A panel for your questions. I'm Therese Bacon. I'll be your facilitator this evening. If you have any concerns or technology issues, I invite you to reach out to me in the chat. Again, questions for our presenter should be submitted to the Q&A. Jessica Rubio is with us this evening to present on the topic of growing your savings with MSUFCU. Thanks so much for leading our presentation, Jessica. I'll now turn things over to you to introduce yourself to our audience, explain why you're passionate about providing financial education to our community, and then we can go ahead and get started.
Awesome. Thank you, Therese, so much. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad that you're here with us tonight. Like Therese had said, my name is Jessica Rubio. I'm a financial educator with our financial education department here at MSU Federal Credit Union. I'm going on 5 years in the department, and I'm really passionate about what I do because I feel like I grew up in a generation where we didn't learn much about finances in school, whether it was conversations with family or friends. Money was kind of just that taboo topic. So now, as a mom myself, it's near and dear to my heart to be able to work with different community partners and different community groups and really give that financial education and that understanding and have those conversations. As a mom of two, I have an infant and I have a 15-year-old. So money is a hot topic in our house all the time. So, again, welcome this evening. We're going to be talking about how to grow our savings with your accounts and the accounts that we offer here at MSUFCU. Like Therese had said, I like to keep things pretty casual. So if you have any questions throughout, please feel free to throw those in the Q&A. Therese will stop me during the presentation. I'd love to get those answered, and I'm here just to be a resource tonight. So we will start off. So with our agenda, we're really going to take some time and talk about the different basic accounts tonight. We're going to talk about earning dividends. I'm going to touch on our specialty savings accounts that we offer here at MSUFCU and then provide some additional resources. So I always like to start off with talking about our basic savings account. So these you may have heard. These are called our Spartan or Grizzly Saver accounts. So they are dividend-bearing accounts, but the dividend earning potential is pretty slim compared to other savings options we offer. Really because these are meant to be just like our basic savings accounts. They're best suited for accounts for like short-term savings, smaller savings goals that you have, or they usually house a lot of individuals like emergency saving funds, due to the fact that they're super liquid. So they are available to you at any time if an emergency or something arose. This really gives you the freedom then to move money around easily without having to worry about, am I going to earn dividends this month? Will I have any penalties or will I have any fees? And so one thing that's really nice about our basic savings accounts is they're all insured through the NCUA, and you can have multiple of them. So there are some members that have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sub-saver accounts underneath their Spartan Saver, and you can name them whatever you want. I recall when I worked in the branch on our front line, we would have members that would name their savings accounts some pretty funny things. And so we would always get a good laugh when they would come in. But then it also helps you by renaming them, attach something to it. right? So like I have one that is for a vacation. I have one that's for our house savings. I have one that's just labeled like fun money, you know? So if there's something I just want to purchase and I don't really want to pull it from my budget, if I have money in that fun money account, I can use that. So really it kind of helps you keep those funds separated. And then again, you can name them whatever you like. And then once you're ready to use those funds, moving them out of our Spartan Saver or Grizzly Saver is really easy. You just hop onto computer line, you go to move money, and you can move that money back and forth. If you're brand new to MSUFCU, this is going to be an account that everybody has. So when you come in to open an account with us, everybody gets either a Spartan Saver or a Grizzly Saver. And then you also get, it requires a $5 initial deposit. And that $5 initial deposit stays in that account the whole time. So that's really used for your ownership of the credit union. So if you didn't know, if you are a member of MSUFCU, you are part owner of the credit union. So other than that, you're not required to maintain any minimum balances for this account. And they're just are pretty basic accounts. You also can have an ATM card attached to them. We do offer those. So really that's kind of our basic savings. Teresa, I saw something pop up. Did we get a question?
Oh, nope, that's okay. It was just me putting some things in the
Okay,
chat. Yep,
awesome.
all
Thank
good.
you. I just wanted
Yep,
to make sure.
yep, thank you.
Now we'll move on to our basic checking accounts. So one thing I love about MSUFCU is we offer our totally green or totally gold checking. It truly is a free checking account. We say that to people and they're like, okay, so what's the catch? Do I need to have a minimum balance? Do I need to have this? Do I need to have that? And the answer is no. It really is just a free account. With our basic checking account, with it being totally free, it does not have any dividend earning potential. Because really, I like to call these our spending accounts. As quickly as the money comes in, the money is going back out to pay for our financial obligations that we have, right? Whether it's our mortgage or rent payments, groceries, bills, whatever that looks like. Most individuals will have their funds direct deposited into their checking account, and then they'll move money around from there. It also makes it really nice when you have those funds direct deposited in, because then that money is immediately available to use your debit card to either make in-store or online purchases. Which kind of brings us over to our money market checking accounts. Okay, so these are going to be accounts that a checking account that is going to allow you to earn some dividends. Okay, so I'm sorry, excuse me, I have the hiccups. With the money market checking accounts, you do have to have a $2,000 minimum balance at all times to earn dividends on the account and to avoid paying a $5 fee. The dividend rates will increase as the balance increases. Okay, so this is really going to be tiered when it comes to earning dividends. So the higher the balance, the more dividends you're going to earn. Okay. You're allowed to make additional deposits in the account at any time. It does have check writing privileges, and you are able to get a debit card attached to that money market checking. And then also, it still allows you to keep those funds liquid. So if you were to need to utilize them on a personal level or a business level, you could still do that through the money market checking. Our businesses sometimes will use a money market checking as well. Just, a couple reminders and takeaways from those are making sure you maintain that $2,000 minimum balance. All right, now we'll move on to our IMMAs, or our insured money management accounts. So these are free to open. They offer higher dividend rates than our basic Spartan or Grizzly savers. There are no minimum balances when you have these accounts, but in order to earn dividends, you have to have at least a balance of $2,000. So kind of like that money market checking account. Dividends are earned again in that tiered level. So the higher the balance, the higher the dividends that you're going to earn. And then one thing I really like to point out about these is if your balance drops below $2,000, a fee is not assessed for an IMMA like it is for a money market checking. So a lot of times when people come in, we do take the time to sit down and speak with them to say, what type of balances do you like to keep in your accounts? Most of the time, people will open up like the free checking and then they'll utilize our different savings options to really house those funds. Sometimes people like having a higher amount in their checking account, or, they'll say, I always will have that $2,000 available. That's when we kind of explore the IMMA or the money market checking. The nice thing about these IMMAs is the money is still liquid, so it's available to you at any time. You can make withdrawals, deposits as you please. But again, it just has to have that $2,000 in there for you to earn dividends. But there is no penalty, so that makes it really nice. So IMMAs are available for personal and business account users. You can also open one up in an IRA or an HSA, but those do require a $50 minimum opening balance for that account. And so the nice thing again with these is account holders can have up to 10 IMMAs with their primary account to kind of keep their savings goals separate. So this would be one like if you wanted to open up 3 of them and you're going to keep $2,000 in those 3 different savings accounts at all times, these are going to allow you to earn higher dividends on your money that you're keeping in there. And you can name them whatever you like to work towards your savings goals. If you're somebody who wants to have your money separate, but you're not always going to have that $2,000 or you're working towards having that $2,000, that's when I would say you maybe want to open up those separate sub savers under the Spartan Saver or the Grizzly Saver. Next, we'll talk about my favorite savings option, which is certificates. Certificates are a great savings option for members that really want those higher dividend rates. When we compare them to any of our standard savings accounts or even our IMMAs, certificates are going to still give you the most bang for your buck. A lot of people, I think, have concerns or reservations when it comes to certificates because when you ask people about certificates, the first thing they're going to say is, well, if I need the money, I know I have to pay a penalty. But what people don't understand is that penalty is usually very small and it's usually only on dividends that you've earned. So dividend rates on certificates are fixed for the term of the certificate. There are no limits on the amount of certificates that you can have per account, which makes it really nice. We even have some members that like to ladder their certificates. And what laddering is when they open multiple certificates and do it in a way where they are staggering the maturity dates. So then they have money coming available to them at multiple different times. It's not they open up 5 certificates on one day and in 2 years from now when it's mature that all that money becomes available. So maybe they open up a 2-year, then maybe they open up a 1-year and a 6-month, so then the money is staggering when it comes to maturity. With any certificate, though, dividends are calculated daily and they're paid monthly and at the end of maturity. So another thing I like to note about certificates is they do automatically get set up to renew. But here at MSUFCU, we give you the option usually when we open the certificate or when the certificate is approaching maturity. We may call you or send you a notification to allow you to set up your renewal instructions. So members really get the option to renew the certificate automatically. They get the option of having the money moved to an account. whether that's a savings, whether that's a checking. So you have a lot of different options, which makes it really nice. The other thing that I think we have a great variety of is we offer a big variety of terms. So our certificates range anywhere from 3 months to 7 years and everywhere in between. Um, I will tell you, most of our certificates do require an opening minimum balance of $500. And then with our certificates, you cannot make additional deposits. So in order to earn the maximum amount of dividends for the term of that certificate, you really want to keep the money in there and you want to allow it to earn monthly and then mature at its maturity date. If the funds are withdrawn early, I know I kind of touched on this already, you are subject to penalty. And again, I'll say that penalties at MSUFCU are pretty small because sometimes in life, things come up. I've had several conversations with members when opening up certificates and they have reservations on things. And at MSUFCU, we understand stuff comes up, right? So let's say you have money set aside in a certificate and you lose a loved one and you need some of that money to pay for arrangements or whatever the case may be, right? Because life does happen. That small penalty that you may pay on some of those dividends you earn will quickly get you out of that certificate, get that money available to you so you can do what you need to do with it. Excuse me. If you are looking to invest an amount of $100,000 or more, we do offer jumbo certificates. And those are a really nice low risk option that the credit union offers. So these also can be opened with like jumbo IRA certificates or jumbo HSA certificates. So if you are a member with $100,000 or more, and you're looking to put that in a certificate or several certificates, we definitely have options for you as well. So that's the one thing I love about certificates is they just offer you so many different options. And right now, rates have been really good. So it's a good option to explore. If you have an amount of money sitting in a savings account that you know you're not going to need for the next year or two, I would 100% consider putting some of that into a certificate. Which leads me to my most favorite certificate that we offer, which is our 1-year add-on. This is a super unique product to MSUFCU. And I have quite a few of these personally myself. So this is probably one of my favorite products that we offer. So with this 1-year add-on certificate, you only need $50 to get it opened, which is really nice. Then you have the opportunity to continue to make additional deposits to that 1-year add-on certificate, up to $10,000 per calendar year. So my husband, he was my fiance then, and I opened up a 1-year add-on certificate after we got engaged, when we were saving for our wedding. And it was a really nice way for us to earn really good dividends on our money. We know we didn't need the money for a year, but we were able to continue to just add on funds into that account until it matured. Then we were able to pull all the funds out and use it to pay for our vendors and other things. We went ahead now and we open up 1-year add-on certificates for both of our kids. So money that's not being utilized by the kids, or kids get birthday cards or allowance or whatever that looks like, and then they're able to then put that into their accounts, put it into the certificate. It's locked up because we're not using it, and they're earning the highest amount of interest that we can, or dividends that we can. So it's really great. As you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about this product. I love this product. A lot of members will use it for our youth members, when they're building their savings, all of that kind of stuff. So again, with our certificates, There's no monthly fees. It's that $50 to open, and then you can make those additional deposits up to $10,000. Therese, do we have any questions?
Nope, nothing yet. All good to move
Okay.
forward.
All right. And if I'm going too fast for you guys, please let me know. I'm happy to slow down as we get through our content. Oh, and one other thing I guess I wanted to say about one-year add-on certificates is they're really nice, especially if you maybe are an individual that's looking to have a shorter term savings account with a high reward, low risk. So maybe I know a lot of our like older youth members like to use these for maybe college savings or maybe purchasing like their first car. And a lot of our new homeowners will use these for like home improvement savings or other savings goals they have for their home. So again, just a really, really great option that we offer at MSUFCU. Next, we have our savings builder. So if you are a member that just doesn't have a savings established yet, right? You're trying to get into that routine of building a savings, or um, you're like a lot of Americans. You know, there was a statistic a couple of years ago when the pandemic hit that 54% of Americans did not have any type of emergency savings built up. And so kind of came at a perfect time when MSUFCU launched our savings builder product, because it really does help our members create an emergency savings sooner with the help of a good high earning dividend account. So Savings Builder is going to be one of these accounts who was created for those who are new to savings, maybe have not had an established habit yet of savings, or just have that financial difficulty of covering an emergency expense that happens. So with the Savings Builder, it's really going to help you develop saving habits and establish that financial security that all of us need. The intent of the Savings Builder is to really support members in funding and saving at least $1,000 in their savings account to cover emergency expenses. So the really cool thing about the Savings Builder is dividends are calculated daily. They're paid on that monthly basis, but higher dividends are paid on the lower balances to really encourage that savings. So this would be a great tool if, you know, you're like, I just don't even know how to start saving. Like I like to turn stuff like that into a game. So opening up that savings builder, earning those higher dividends on those lower balances, and then as your balance starts to climb, it kind of evens out. Then what a lot of members will do is once they get that $1,000, they'll continue to grow until they get that $2,000. And then they look at maybe different savings options. Maybe an IMMA is going to be better, or keeping it in the savings builder, depending on the rates. One thing I do like to know about savings builders is that they're not available for youth accounts, business accounts, IRAs, or HSAs. So you must either have one of our rebuild checkings, totally green checkings, classic checkings, or money market checkings with MSUFCU to be eligible to have that savings builder. So with this one, again, there's no minimum balance requirement, and you can have only one per base account per base account number. So if you have 3 base account numbers with MSUFCU, you could have multiple savings builders. But they're really going to be used as that path to build that savings. They can be used for overdraft protection, which is really nice. And you can access the funds via the ATM, so on your debit card or on your ATM card. One thing that a lot of members like to do too with opening these up is to kind of expedite that building of that savings, they do go in and they do have the ability to turn on those automatic transfers from your checking. So that's something you can set up on our mobile app, on computer line, or you can give us a call or chat us and we're able to help you get that set up. That's our savings builder. Next, we have another fun one of mine, which are our holiday and vacations accounts. So these really help encourage that commitment to saving, whether it's for a gift or other special occasions. These accounts are limited to only 2 withdrawals per year, and 1 automatic withdrawal is made to your account in November. And then the other one, excuse me, can be made anytime during that year. So these are really going to be focused on having, putting money in and then not withdrawing money until that time in November. Obviously, if an emergency comes up, you do have those 2 withdrawals that you could make throughout the year. But it's really nice. We started doing this for holiday time. It really helped, whether it was for gifts, whether it was for if you're hosting extra family and your grocery bill is going to be a little bit higher, like it's just really nice. Or maybe you're one that's like, I'm going to start saving. So then in November, when that money comes to me, I'm going to use that and I'm going to book a vacation because we don't always love winter in Michigan. Although I have to say, it's been a really great winter so far this year. I'm going to knock on wood for all of us.
Yes, it has.
Also, with the holiday and vacation accounts, there is no minimum balance requirement to open them, which makes it really nice. And there are also no monthly fees. So that's another really great thing about them. You're able to make an unlimited number of deposits, and then you can access those accounts on computer line, money line, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and on our mobile app. So I'd like to just point out a couple last things. Some members that benefit from the holiday and vacation accounts include those who'd like to maybe be deterred from withdrawing money when they're trying to save. So sometimes people use these and it's not for a vacation or for a holiday. They just use it as a way to, because they know that they can't make unlimited withdrawals from them. So it really has helped a lot of members be successful with reaching their savings goals, which I always look at it like this is no matter what way you achieve it, you've achieved it. And building savings, it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of creating habits.
Sorry, Jessica, I did want to interrupt real quick. We did have a question, which I just replied in the chat so that everyone else that's here would have access to the calculator. But we had a member that's here with their son who's 14, and they were just wondering of some tools to see how interest works and whatnot. So I did provide the link to our calculators page that has some resources for calculating like how much a savings goal and how long it's going to take you to reach that, depending on how much you can deposit each month. It also has the calculator for the savings builder. So if you did want to start depositing money into that, you can see what you'll be getting back there with the tiered mixed rate. And then also for certificates, and then actually just creating a savings goal and how many months you're going to have to save to reach that goal and things like that. So the calculators page on our website is very helpful for those types of things.
Yes, thank you for putting that in there. It is super helpful. I know Therese can attest to this too. We utilize that page often when we are in the schools, when we are working with students, whether we are working with adults, no matter the age. There's tons of free resources out on our MSUFCU webpage, and that calculators one is awesome. I have used that one with my son when it comes to calculating certificates and savings goals. There's even one on there for loans too. So maybe you're somebody who is interested in buying a new car and you know that you can pay $300 a month. You can plug all your information into the calculator and it can tell you how much you can afford for a car. Or if you're like, maybe I want to spend $15,000 and then you go and realize it's going to be a $400 payment and you're like, ooh, that's not what I want to spend. Or whatever the case may be. I'm throwing numbers out there as an example, but yeah, Thank you for putting that in there and thank you for asking that. Those tools are so nice when it
Yes.
comes to that.
And we did have another question come through. What is the recommended balance for a savings builder account so that it earns the highest amount of interest? So, really, with this one, I mean, I can just take it, Jess, since
Yeah,
we're both
go
here.
ahead.
So, with the savings builder, you're going to earn the highest amount on that first $999.99 on deposit. Currently, that rate is at 5.25% APY. So, any amount deposited after that first $999 is going to bring that 5.25% down a little bit the more that you put in. So once it reaches 2000 and above, that's where you're going to see the lowest rates, which they still are going to be higher than a regular Spartan saver for that amount. So we did have some members, that will choose to just keep $2,000 in there or choose to just keep $999.99, even if they have other savings, other types of high yield savings with us, just to get that 5.25% rate on that first $1,000. So yes, you can calculate that with that link I just sent to see, depending on how much you put in there, how much am I going to get back each month. So that should be there too if you want to check that out.
Therese, one thing I want to add to that, I love that you covered all of that. I've even talked to some members that have used the savings builder to get up to that $1,000 and then moved that money, that $1,000 into a 1-year add-on certificate. So then those, and if you have the rate sheet pulled up right now, last time I checked, I think the 1-year add-ons were still earning like 3 or 4%, which is
Yeah, it's
still
actually 4.25% right
okay.
now.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, still a pretty good rate
4.25%
on
right
that one
now.
year.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a
Yeah.
great one. And then they use the savings builder again to start building another 1,000. And so it's just
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
whole creating that habit of savings.
that's a great combo actually too. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
start suggesting that to people too. That's a really good one. If they're going to keep saving throughout the year, they can earn money while they're saving and then they can throw each thousand into the certificate
Yeah.
once it's saved. So yes, that's really
It
great.
really
Thank
just
you.
goes and creates those habits. And I want everybody to know that's listening, especially, I know we have a younger person listening. Same thing I told my son is, saving is just about a habit. I mean, we start teaching youth at a very young age. It doesn't matter if you have a dollar, it doesn't matter if you have a few quarters or a few pennies. Every amount that you save, it's always going to add up to be more. So it's never too little, it's never too much. It's going to look different for everybody and their budgets and their income and everything else, but it's just as long as you can make it that habit, I think that's what's the most beneficial. All right. Great questions. So, I also want to talk a little bit about our computer line and our mobile app features because I know sometimes people have questions on this of, okay, you talk to me about these great savings and these great tools. How do I go and open them up on my own? So, if you are in computer line, you can see where that manage icon is. You can click on that. And then you can see right under create or modify accounts, that's where you can go in and you can add your certificates. You can open up a savings or an IMMA. You can rename your savings account there as well. Or you can apply for a checking account if you only have a savings right now. So, lots of great tools when it comes to computer line. It's super easy going in to set all of those accounts up. As you know, if you have any questions at all, you can chat with Fran. We can get you with a representative to finish setting that up if you run into any issues. You can utilize our call center if you run into any issues. And then if you're on the mobile app, you're going to go to the 3 little dashes in the upper left-hand corner. It's going to take you to a screen where it says my account has your information. And then as you can see where it's highlighted in red, you would click open savings account or certificate, and then it's going to kind of talk to you again and reiterate some of the things that we talked about tonight. So whether it's opening a certificate, whether it's opening that savings builder, or whether it's opening that IMMA. And so last but not least, I know Therese kind of talked about some of this already about rates and the different resources we have on our website. But if you're interested in going and exploring those rates for yourself, rates do change on a week-to-week basis. But to explore more rates on all of our accounts, you can go to msufcu.org. You can click rates in the header bar, and that's going to allow you to see rates for our certificates, our IMMAs, our Spartan Savers, all the accounts that we have. And if you're interested in those tools that Therese had mentioned tonight, that's going to be right next to rates under that resources, and it's going to be under tools and calculators. And then, yeah, we have just a lot of different information out there. And then, as I said, we're always here to answer questions. Therese and I will be here to answer questions tonight if you have them. If you're in the middle of trying to open that account and you're just having issues, please feel free to reach out to our call center or our e-services department. They are happy to help. Or if maybe you're a person who likes to come in, you can always come into one of our branches and we're happy to help you get any of those things set up as well. So that is all I have for you all this evening. I want to thank you for coming and spending time learning about how to grow your savings with MSUFCU. I also wanted to touch on some of the additional resources that we offer as a financial education department. We have our podcast, which is Wallet Watch. If you liked hearing me chat tonight, I am the host of our Wallet Watch podcast. So you can go and you can check that out. We had a really great season last season talking about all of the fintech companies that MSUFCU is working with. So, if you're maybe somebody who wants to tackle some debt, Debbie would be a good one for you. If you've ever heard of the application Acorn, MSUFCU is working with a company called Changed, where it's rounding up and helping you pay down your debts with the round up money that you're saving, which is really awesome. We have obviously our financial education seminar series, which all of you are attending tonight. I know Therese is probably popping some information in the chat about any upcoming sessions that we have. So if you're interested in registering for those. And then also we offer our Financial 4.0. So if you or anyone is a parent of a college age child, or I would even say it's appropriate for high school, have them check out our Financial 4.0. That is a website that is all done by our financial education team. There are different quizzes, there are different blogs that they can read. There's all of our podcast episodes, videos, all types of financial education information housed there. So Therese, thank you for having me tonight. I'm really excited to come and chat with members, and we'll hang out to see if there's any questions. Thank you all.
Thanks, Jessica. And thanks everyone for being here. So I'd like, if you are going to stay for the Q&A, that's fine. We'll get to that in just a moment. But if not, if you do close out the Zoom, you'll get a survey that should pop up. So you can go ahead and fill that out. Let us know how we did tonight. And we definitely value your feedback for future presentations. I also wanted to, I did put these in the chat, but I just wanted to voice that if you're in the Lansing area, we do have a seminar series tomorrow evening at our Farm Lane branch to learn about 3 transitions to retirement. That's with our financial advising partners, LPL Financial. And then our next webinar will be on Wednesday, March 13th, and that will focus on trust creation and administration with Chalgen and Tripp Law offices. So thank you all for being here. Since you did attend, you are going to be all registered to win our sweepstakes or for the $50 Visa gift card. So with that, I'll now stop recording and we can address any further questions that you may have. Thanks.